She was sharing her experience with just the squeezing and how things changed with her skin and how things feel on her skin. And even though I was working for all these purpose-driven brands, we were really just considering women from like 18 to 35, really, right? And just assumed that anybody over 35 that was interested would be happy as well. But that's so wrong. And even in not just swimwear, but also in clothing, like helping my mom shop for stuff and just like style herself. It's stuff that used to be go-to pieces for her just no longer worked. And I realized that nobody's addressing this.
Welcome back, my beautiful, beautiful listeners. Let's talk about something that truly needs to be disrupted: swimwear. Shopping for a bathing suit in our perimenopause, menopause, and the postmenopause years can be absolutely daunting. Fashion designers don't think about women's bodies as they change and mature, but someone has entered the industry and she's going to shake it up. Today's conversation, wow, it just feels especially magical to me because it brings together two generations of women. I'm joined by Sarah Blaser, a fashion designer with deep roots in technical sportswear and intimate apparel, and her mother, Donna, whose lived experience during menopause quietly became the spark of something truly transformative in the swimwear industry. See, during the pandemic, Sarah moved back in with her mom. What might have been just a season of closeness turned into a creative awakening. Watching Donna struggle with swimwear, suits that felt suffocating, unsupportive, and completely out of sync with her changing body, Sarah began to see something bigger, an opportunity. And it wasn't just about one woman and one swimsuit. It was about how the entire swim industry has long failed to honor the beautifully diverse, evolving bodies of women, especially in midlife. And out of that realization, Serotone Swim was born, a brand that asks a radical question: what if swimwear worked with our bodies instead of against them? Inspired by Sarah's great-great-aunt Lucy's elegant wool bathing suit from the 1920s, Serotone blends vintage grace with modern engineering, creating suits that feel supportive, freeing, and celebratory rather than restrictive. Serotone isn't just swimwear. It's an invitation to reconnect with your body, your confidence, and the simple joy of being by the poolside or on the beach without having to cover up. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about menopause, mother-daughter creativity, innovation, embodiment, and how clothing can either constrain us or help us feel truly free and at home in our own skin. Please join me in welcoming Sarah and Donna to the Menopause Disruptor podcast.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
So excited.
Radical conversation around bathing suits, swimwear, the whole gamut.
Yes, indeed. It is a nightmare for, I want to say I think it's Elle came out with a study, I believe, where it was like 64% of women dread putting on a bathing suit, which when I read that, I was astounded.
64%.
Yep.
That's a pretty shocking statistic. We weren't even going to start there, but let's just go on that one.
Yeah. It was like Elle Magazine and Dove Beauty both did different tests, and I'm confusing which one was which, but one was like who dreads putting on a bathing suit, and then who just like abhors shopping for a bathing suit, and it was all over 50% of women.
The first time I had that sensation, I was in my young 20s and I was an athlete. And
Right.
I mean, not that being athletic would have any bearing on what I would look like in a swimsuit, but you would think that feeling good about my athleticism would spill over into shopping for a bathing suit. And my God, I hated it. My husband was with me saying, "What is wrong with you?" Like, seriously, what are you seeing that I am not seeing? So,
right.
Before we get into that psychology of the female's brain when it comes to bathing suits, take us back to the very beginning, Sarah. What personal or professional moment you had that made you realize that swimwear needed to be radically rethought for women's bodies?
Sure. Well, I started my career in fashion in New York in my early 20s, and I quickly realized that I was meant to be work for purpose-driven brands. So the majority of my career was in intimates and technical sportswear, focusing on solving real problems within those sectors. And I found a lot of joy there. It wasn't until I was living with my mother during the pandemic, and we were in Wilmington, North Carolina. There was nothing to do, so we were going out on the boat every day, and she was just constantly complaining about her suits. And she would just want to rip them off, no matter what the price tag was, no matter what the style was. She just wanted to rip them off within like 30 minutes. So I decided to make her a swimsuit for her birthday. Since I've been doing development in intimates and activewear, it's just kind of bread and butter for me. And that's how we actually came up with the first design, the Infinity One Piece. And it was just a complete game changer.
Yeah, for me, my body changed dramatically through menopause and nothing fit right. I didn't know how to dress myself anymore. And there were already limited selections of suits that actually looked decent, not frumpy, and good on my body. And I was really frustrated. And it's like, if you don't feel good about how you look, you don't feel good. It's just another layer.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
And she was sharing her experience with just the squeezing and how things changed with her skin and how things feel on her skin. And even though I was working for all these purpose-driven brands, right, like we were really just considering women from teen to 35. Really, right? And just assumed that anybody over 35 that was interested would be happy as well. But that was so wrong. And even in not just swimwear, but also in clothing, like helping my mom shop for stuff and just like style herself. It's stuff that used to be go-to pieces for her just no longer worked. And I realized that nobody's addressing this.
So you became that change maker.
Yeah.
So you became, as your technical background, let's say in sportswear, intimate wear, how did that training make you realize that the swimwear industry needed to be approached with a different lens that traditional designers, as you said, weren't doing?
I think it's because I was actually doing custom swimwear and bodysuits on the side of my work. And it's the intimates, like I was working with women's boobs a lot, actually. That's like really where it started. And it's amazing how different women's breasts are from person to person, and just like trying to create a solution, a one size fits all solution, it just isn't possible. But then first I started in sports technology, and that was really learning about different technical fabrics and the purposes for them, right? And then working for the Intimates brand, our customers started bleeding up into their like 40s, late 40s. And as I was working with some of these fit models, I was like, this is a completely different situation. I'm so used to working with models in their 20s, their bodies are completely different. This is not going to work for these people. Like, who is creating for these people other than these kind of frumpy grandma brands? If it's grandma.
I want to actually know the story behind the name that you came up with the swimwear.
Oh, that was actually kind of funny. All my friends call me Serotonin because my name's Sarah. And originally I was actually thinking of calling the brand Serotone Swim, but actually somebody patented it or trademarked it, sorry. And so I was like, okay, I really love the idea of serotonin though, because it's your balance of wellness and happiness, right? Like I wanted this brand to feel like it's coming from a place of positivity rather than judgment or anything that weighs us down as women as we think about our bodies. And so that's why I ended up going with Serotone Swim. And we include swim in the name because everything we make can go in the water, no matter what it is.
Yes, because I noticed, checking out the website and even the little video you have of the models on the runway showing all the different colors and different designs, even the pants, the blouses. So all of that can be immersed in the water, no issue. Mm-hmm. And no issue with chlorine or say salts or.
Nope. Yeah, all of our fabrics are tested for chlorine and salt water. One of our fabrics, we were using recycled bottles, but we found out that's actually like technically worse for the environment, believe it or not. So we're going to switch back to a regular polyester until we can start sourcing our materials from non-fossil fuel derived sources.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that commitment to the environment. So when it comes to the actual design, and you're sitting down there, you're trying to design for many body types, like how do you get into, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. How do you figure out?
Well, it's funny because when I was making my mom's first suit, I was like, what am I going to do about this boob issue? Like, I just like, right? Because there is no one answer for any woman. So I ended up making a one piece the Infinity one piece, and there is no boob support in it. It's a completely mesh top. And then I ended up designing 3 separate bra tops that you can layer with it. So if you want extra support, you got that. If you want more of like more cleavage, if you want a plunging neckline, right? You have those options that you can pair with the one pieces. So you have your crest and breast support. And you don't necessarily have to pair my bra tops with it, right? If you have your favorite bikini top from Target or Marshalls or whatever, and you want to throw that underneath our piece, you can do that. And that way you're just completely comfortable. And as a bonus, when you have to go to the bathroom, you're not completely naked when you're taking off your one piece.
So clever. So the outside shell is just more, won't say one size fits all, but it's more flexible or.
Yeah, it's more like I would say it's like just like an overlay almost.
Okay.
It's very lightweight. It's the Infinity one piece. I keep mentioning this one. It's called the Infinity one piece because it's 2 mesh panels that you can wrap and tie in different ways to have different necklines, but it's all mesh. So super breathable, dries super quickly, and it won't be cumbersome with your swim top.
Before we dive back into today's episode, I want to share something really special with you. An ongoing sponsor is Hen's Den Yoga, a beautiful home studio located in the Comox Valley, owned and operated by Sarah Ham, who you may have heard on a recent podcast educating us about the importance of mammograms and breast health. Sarah has created a welcoming, supportive space for all students to reconnect with their bodies, calm their nervous system, and build strength from the inside out through intelligent, thoughtful yoga, Pilates, bar, and HIIT classes. Book a class at hensdenyoga.ca. And if you're a values-aligned business and want your work shared with this community, you too can become a sponsor. Check out Sponsor the Show in the show notes below.
Right. You can pull it down to tan if you want.
Yeah.
You could pull it down to tan, or you could tie it so that you're more covered on your chest. I know a lot of us, as we age, the sun has really done a lot of damage there. So it's really very flexible. It's one of my favorites. I love the bra. I could wear it all day. It has no underwire and it is super comfortable and I feel supported. And I'm in the double D range. So it's always been a challenge to find a well-fitted bra that was comfortable. So with this one, I just feel like, okay, I'm in there. I'm not going to fall out. And it looks good, it makes me feel good. But also with her bottoms, I was running into problems where the legs actually would dig in and squeeze my leg and it would make it look fatter than it was, or just more bulbous. Hers do not do that. They're super comfortable. They stay in place and they don't push in at all.
Yes.
And there's some seaming in the back that kind of makes it look like you have a little more shape back there instead of a flat butt, which is helpful.
I think the biggest issue with swimwear is that I come across with is that a lot of it is just flat pieces of fabric that are sewn together. So it really doesn't accommodate for a woman's natural curves. And I think with the added spandex, I think a lot of brands assume that the spandex will just do the work for them, but it really doesn't. And that's how you end up with these rolls that you never had and just uncomfortable elastics that are just riding up and causing all sorts of problems.
And that is one of the problems that a lot of women face is that when they go to buy a traditional bathing suit, a bikini, for example, comes at if you are a small cup, you have a small bottom. And it's just, you have to buy small for up here, but then you're squeezing in your bottom half of your body And vice versa. If you want to wear something that's a little bit more comfortable fitting, you go one size up. And after it gets wet, it's a little bit of a droopy bum.
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
sagging boobs, if you're like,
Yeah.
go and
Yeah.
take little winners, go in the bathroom, switch out.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say is like the way the swimwear industry has evolved from how it was like in the 1920s, right? Like people used to wear clothes to the beach, right? And granted, it wasn't functional by any means. It's like you had more options. So you could really just dress how you felt comfortably. And now it's all string bikinis, it's butts out. And I will say women should wear whatever they want to on the beach, full stop. But if you do not want to wear that, finding something different that makes you feel good is extremely difficult.
Near impossible, actually.
Yeah. And for me, I always had to have separates. One pieces never worked with my short waist, and it never had enough breast support. So I would have to try to find bra size tops and that actually had separates, but they were few and far between. Even when you started designing, it was ridiculous. Okay, this suit fits, but I really don't like the color or the pattern. But you just gotta, okay, it fits. Good enough. And her line with the cover-ups and everything, you just feel dressed and it's comfortable. It looks great. You can get off the beach and go have lunch or the boat or whatever, and you can just go into a public place and not feel like you're a schlep. You know what I'm saying? And you're comfortable, you know?
And that's what I really loved. I mean, first of all, I love that you call it on your website, the lookbook. I mean, that is so inviting and appealing right there. But the colors, the range of colors, just from that nice black and white pattern to the full spectrum of beautiful colors. And I found right away that the allure of the swimsuit was more attractive when you had that soft, breezy, flowing outer layer. And it just gave it something more sensual, I found. But at the same time, yeah,
I feel like you see me.
oh, yeah. I mean, it was classy and sophisticated and appealing. I could even see my husband saying to me if I was wearing one of these beautiful pieces, like, you look more sexier with that whole ensemble than if you take off the layers and just jumped in the pool or the beach with whatever you have underneath. We see so many women, myself included, we put on the track pants and the hoodie to go down to the
or
beach.
like proverbial t-shirt. So many people I see on the beach in t-shirts, and I want to save you from that. I don't want you to feel like you have to do this. That's like, obviously, if you want to protect yourself from the sun with a t-shirt, go for it. But don't feel like you have to wear it, right? There should be options for you.
Yeah. Or a shapeless cover-up that
Moo-moos. Lots of moo-moos.
that just makes it even worse. But you feel secure because you're covered at least. And so now you can be covered and look fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think the fact that we choose really bad covers is sending a message to each other and even to ourselves that we're not validating how we show up in the world, how we are naturally formed and shaped, and how that shape evolves as we age. What we're saying is, shame on you, cover it up. And only when you're ready, take it off to do your swim and then get right back into it. You know, we put the towel on. Yeah. I'm so guilty of that too, because I believe that because we've been ingrained with this message, with the fashion industry really doing a disservice for us for years and years, 100%. That we have to feel that we need to protect ourselves with something that's totally unappealing, unattractive, frumpy, and the material itself very uncomfortable. Yeah. So take us to where you finally had enough prototypes of designs ready to go and you're ready to launch and present to the big wide world. Tell us, bring us through that.
It's Miami.
Yeah, we decided to launch at Miami Swim Week. I had about 20 pieces, different styles that I had been developing over the course of like about a year and a half.
Mhm.
And I just knew I wanted to do Miami Swim Week. It's like one of the biggest swim shows in the country. And the show that we did it with, they're famous for doing their runway on the water. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
You saw it. And it was such an incredible experience. Like for not knowing what I was getting into, it
yeah.
could not have gone better. And I have to say the models were so incredible. The show provides models, makeup, all that stuff, and you do like a casting of who they've selected. And the women we worked with, like just all shapes and sizes, all different ages, ranging from like 22 to 42. And yeah, it just everything fit everyone so well, which I was
Yeah.
that was like amazing.
And we had some really great comments. In fact, one or two of the models ended up buying pieces from us.
That's true.
One of them was married with twins. And she said that my husband loves this because my ass is covered. And because as a model, you're going out there. How many times do you actually have to wear a suit that shows pretty much everything from behind? So he was really thrilled with our stuff, and she ended up buying some for their vacation. Yeah, it was really sweet to hear that.
Yeah, that's one thing that was a big complaint among my mom and her friends was like the butt coverage issue. It's just really hard to find swimwear that won't stay put when you're walking, swimming. And so that is probably one of the bigger innovations that I've put into all the products. So there's the yoke seam in the back that my mom mentioned. It actually adds fullness into the butt. So your butt cheeks can kind of fall into the swimsuit, and then the legs have a seamless edge that like hook around under your butt, so you're like good to go.
It stays
So clever. Yeah. So like you said, you don't get that bunching and pushing that just adds you an extra roll or bulkiness that you're like, wait a second.
Yeah. But to get back on topic, yeah, so we launched at Miami Swim Week, and that was absolutely incredible. And from there, I was just doing made to order. So I have a studio in Raleigh, North Carolina, with like my sewing machines and a big sewing table that we built together. And we started doing made to order, launched the website in September. And then we had a little launch party there as well. And then now we did holiday delivery was also made to order. And now we're switching to production. So I'm working with a manufacturer that I've worked with for over 5 years now. They're in Istanbul, and we have a wonderful relationship. They're a boutique factory, so I don't have to place like huge orders and worry about like overproduction or anything like that. Also get to make sure that my stuff is done perfectly because I know the team very well, so that's always super helpful. And so we will actually be shipping our spring in March, and it is available for pre-order now.
For pre-order now.
Yeah.
Okay. So small batches so that it actually is a little bit more
Yes.
the environment, as well as, you're not having lots of waste.
Yeah, the sustainability issue, especially in activewear and swimwear, is extremely difficult. There's a lot of greenwashing, and it's all these performance fabrics are derived from materials made of fossil fuels for the most part, right? And so we try there's companies that are coming up with like recycled polyester, we have biodegradable nylon, all these different things, but in the end of the day, I think the biggest impact that we can make is reducing our production and actually like making what is needed and like assessing the data, so we're not just trying to push stuff out there that people don't necessarily want.
Yeah. Yeah. Now back to the Miami swim show.
Yeah.
You were able to cast your models. Is that right? You were able to review who they offered and decide which ones would.
Yes.
Yes. So interesting, because when you watch the video, and I'm going to put that in the show description below so that our guests,
Yay.
our listeners see that one. And they're of all sizes, shapes and sizes. And so is that an indication, just the fact that they have a full spectrum of women's shapes and sizes, an indication though that the swimsuit industry is finally becoming more inclusive, or modeling just in general is becoming more inclusive?
I could say yes and no. I know that Miami Swim Week, the show that we did, they are all about diversity and inclusivity. And that's one of the reasons why we chose them.
Yeah.
However, if you look at articles from like Business of Fashion to other fashion influencers online, there actually has been a shift back towards this like skinny trend. So like back during, I guess it was like right before the pandemic, through the pandemic, we had all this inclusivity, plus size models, and the fashion industry was kind of doubling down on that. But when you look at the runway now, it's kind of reverting back. And I think that's like partially because of this kind of Ozempic trend. Everybody's getting thinner and they're feeling good about themselves. I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody, but it's sad to see. But there are brands that had committed to diversity in the past that are still shining through. And that's something that we want to continue to do as well.
That's obviously what you value is.
Yeah. I think I read something, and again, don't quote me on this, is like something like the average size of an American woman is a size 16. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I'm like, it's probably close to that number, because if you think about just like the size of women, I think now the average breast size of American women is like a 34D or double T. And so it's like, why aren't brands changing their sizing offering to accommodate the majority? And I think part of it is like we're stuck in our own ways. They've figured out how to do it one way, so they just want to keep doing it that way. But I think another part of it is just like ignorance. I don't know.
Well, that's interesting, Sarah, that you brought that up. Is it common then that you're in North America and you see the full spectrum of women's sizes and seeing the shift in the sizes, being motivated to change the mindset around skinny to, let's face it, we all come in different shapes and sizes. So then you take your designs based on that and then bring it to European or international manufacturers. Is that common? Or because I sometimes think when I see these bikinis in stores, and I won't name a few brands, but I pick it up and I go, this is designed by the Asian market, for the Asian market, for the Asian size woman, because even their large is small and it doesn't, it doesn't conform to our body.
The sizing issue in the industry is just a little bit all over this place. And I think that while there are standards, I think there's vanity sizing, right? Some brands like want to make people feel good about themselves. Also, I think the addition of spandex into the market while allowing for more size inclusivity has also screwed up our sizing as well, because each spandex fabric with spandex in it performs differently. But if you're not necessarily paying attention to how differently, right, you might say like, okay, we're making our classic short in this spandex fabric this year, and then next year you update it to another one, but you don't like necessarily accommodate for the change in spandex, right? Then your sizing is completely different. So I think it does make things a little bit more complicated. Yeah. But if a brand is clear about who they are for, right, then their sizing becomes clear, right? If I say I'm a brand who designs clothing for women over 40, focusing on pain points of menopause and other women's health issues, that signals to somebody saying, okay, she's considering these body types.
So staying true to your mission statement, based on your values, and then staying true to it and not being influenced by an industry that's trying to push us towards the certain sizing.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Donna, I'm interested to hear from you. The first time you put on the piece that Sarah had designed, how did it make you feel?
I'm going to cry because I was blown away. I just could not believe it.
Oh,
It was more than a birthday bathing suit. It was a collection. And every piece, it was like, oh my God, I love this and I love that. I can't do the plunge bra and I can't she does a high cut bottom that I don't like on me, but I have a friend that loves it. And so I'm like, okay, there's something for everyone. It's not just about me. No, it's not. But yeah, so proud. So
ah,
proud of what she's accomplished. And now we're working to get the word out and share what we have to offer because it's a game changer. It really is.
yeah. It's akin to stepping into your wedding outfit, a dress. Well, I wore pants, but
Love that.
Yeah. Like I think about when you're invited to a pool party, you're going, oh crap. I really have to put a bathing suit on in a party setting now. Now it doesn't matter. I feel like I can show up in one of these outfits and I look great and I'm not a party pooper. I'm not the person that doesn't show up in a bathing suit,
yeah,
you know?
hiding in the corner. Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
mentioned what color scheme did you end up getting, or do you have them all?
Well,
She has all of them.
all of them. At first, it was like, ooh, uh, you know, really do believe that black doesn't do justice for older women because it really does show off the imperfections in your skin. But pairing it with the geo print, it totally distracts and I don't know, it was great. I've walked through Charleston in the sunset pattern, and those are my colors. I love that Bordeaux, the burgundy, and then even the sea marble. I think it looks, everyone says, oh, this looks great on blondes, but I actually love that too. I love that teal color.
Yes.
Bluestone,
Yeah,
she
bluestone.
calls it. And that's pretty as well. So I don't know. I wear them all.
I tried to pick, building on your comment about the color black, it really doesn't do a lot of people justice. And so the colors I picked were meant to be like new blacks for people. So if you want to do black, you're black. But this Bordeaux and the bluestone also add some life back into your complexion.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. I always, my mother, I can hear her voice right now. Mary, you look so much nicer in bold colors, pinks and oranges. Like, look at me, a black turtleneck. This is just,
Oh, we all do it. We all do it.
just
Yeah.
because we think that the plainer, the more obscure we can be, the safer we are. But I did notice when I was watching that runway video at the Miami swim show, is that you're immediately drawn to the color and the patterns and the flow of the patterns and the colors. You don't really notice much else, but just you're captivated with the material. And I'm just watching it on a screen, so I can just imagine what it's
Yeah.
like in real life. That's
It feels really nice. It's so soft, right?
yeah.
And if you're having hot flashes and stuff, it's really not going to add to that. Yeah. I mean, hot flashes, what can I say?
Mhm.
You feel like you're going to explode, and that's part of it. But what I found is that because I'm not constantly adjusting and feeling the pinch and this and that, it's not bothersome to have that fabric on you. And it's breathable. The breeze goes through it. It doesn't hold the heat in at all.
Okay, good. I was
Yeah.
going to ask about that material, Sarah. Is that it's
Yeah.
That's part of that was the other reason why we did mesh tops for the one pieces, just because we wanted the heat to be able to escape. But then for all of the other pieces that aren't see-through, right? The bottoms and such, instead of doing like a double layer of swim fabric, which so many brands are doing right now, we are actually lining our pieces with power mesh. So I don't know if you've heard of power mesh. It's like the super functional mesh that's used a lot in activewear. And it just dries really quickly. It's an open mesh. It's super breathable and it's a warp knit. And actually our nylon fabric is also a warp knit, which is very smoothing on the body. And just, it doesn't squeeze too much as well. Like I find that a lot of swimwear these days, because of the capabilities of circular knitting, you get these like really pretty fabrics, but the circular knits tend to want to go into every crevice and wherever it's narrower, and it can be uncomfortable.
I bought
yes.
the once, and you have it on in the dressing room and you're like, ooh, this looks pretty good. And maybe it's on for 5-10 minutes, if that. I could never wear it. It started squeezing the life out of me. So that was that. I'm like, yeah, that's no miracle.
Have you had lots of comments from others and asking questions when you wear your pieces, Donna?
Well, first of all, they don't even realize I'm wearing a bathing suit. I was in Florida at a resort for my mom's, was it
85th.
85th birthday. And I had the joggers and the one piece with it.
The mesh top one piece.
The mesh top one piece. And so it looks like a blousy top and then the joggers. And I was wearing the black and white, the Geo pattern. And I had people stop me. I love your outfit. I'm like, it's a bathing suit. And they're like, what? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually wild. So many people don't realize that the stuff that we're wearing is swimwear.
Right. So that was really cool for that. And then we had women that came into, we were doing a trunk show, and they're like, oh, we don't care about the bathing suits. We want the long dress. We're wearing this out. We're wearing these as clothes. So it's so versatile. So they ended up putting like a slip underneath the dress, and they're going to wear it out.
Yeah.
I actually put leggings on, leggings and a tank top, and I put the long dress on with a pair of boots, and I felt very chic, I have to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything that we've designed, it's meant to go from water to table. It's really meant to be something that you can live in. It's not just swimwear.
Or if you're at one of those crazy birthday parties and the birthday girl gets thrown into the pool. You've got
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, no problem.
Exactly.
so clever. Oh, we kind of touched on this, but is the fashion industry catching up to midlife women and taking it as seriously, or are they still lagging behind?
I think there's a lot more talks than there were before. Menopause is definitely the hot word in the industry right now, and which is amazing because I want more people talking about it. I personally would love to use my brand as an advocate for women's health, a platform for women to come and get educated and not only buy swimwear. And actually, we're working on figuring out how to do some philanthropy in that aspect as well, donating to women's health research. But that's in the works. It's going to take a little bit of time.
That was actually my next question: is where do you see the company, not just the design, but where do you see the company moving in the next 5 years?
Oof. Yeah, in the next 5 years, that's the biggest thing, right? It's like getting the brand out there. And then once we've established ourselves, we can really start making an impact in women's health research. And I love the idea of bringing back Tupperware parties and actually hosting events and changing the way we shop, because it's so boring now. Shopping online is just, I hate it. And then shopping in person, it's really hard to find things that you're looking for. So hosting events where you get to shop really cool, unique things, but then also maybe somebody's there speaking about women's health or just like a topic in general, or maybe leading a meditation, right? It doesn't just have to be specific to menopause or endometriosis or postpartum, but I really just want to create community spaces where these women feel included and
they actually, I was going to say, actually have fun trying on.
Actually, it was fun trying on bathing suits.
You get the immediate affirmation right then and there when you try something on, and either the others say, you know what, that looks great, but try this. And then you can explore or trying it on and getting all of the accolades saying, yes, that is you, that is your color, that is your shape. Because we don't get that when we're shopping in a store, and we certainly don't get it online. And
we've done a few events so far, and it's incredible because like you really get to work with the customer like one-on-one, get to know their experience and what they're looking for, but then also just connect on a deeper level, because it's just such a great group of women chatting about what we do in the world. And
exactly. And then the other thing I find is there's a lot of women have a hard time seeing themselves for real. They see themselves as what they think they look like. And so to have that, and so not necessarily know how to dress their body to the best look, I think that needs to shift too.
Well, I think people
Yeah.
don't realize that style takes work. People see my
That's fair.
wardrobe and they're like, you have such great style. And I'm like, yes, because this took years to cultivate, right? And a lot of women just don't have time for that. We're busy forging our careers, being mothers, dealing with our health issues, whatever it is. And most women's bodies don't fit the mold. So it's just a hurdle to figure that out. And finding brands that try to cater to other bodies like we're trying to do is also very difficult, especially when you have so many brands flooding social media and the ad space. Just like what's real and what's not. Yeah, it's just extremely difficult. So creating these in-person events, I think, is a great way to kind of introduce that to somebody who just doesn't really have time to figure it out.
Exactly. The confession on my side, I spent over 20 years in uniform from about the age 18
Oh,
to
wow.
my 20 years of service and retired in 38. My daughter was, she was 4 by this time. I had no clue on how to dress. I absolutely did not know how to put on.
Why would you?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was taking all my advice from magazines or whatever I saw in the media. I had no idea. I became really obsessed with shoes because we had to wear these god awful shoes. We were in the military and boots, but I didn't know how to fit. I mean, the uniforms were horrible fitting, polyester, scratchy.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me a long time. I still think I'm trying to figure that out, but I lag behind terribly on the bathing suit issues. It just, no problem of throwing on a sports bra because I know it's functional. And that's the point, is that they work for movement and function. It's a performance material. And that's what you bring to your brand, to Serotonin and the swimwear, because our bodies are designed to move. We feel better when we're functioning, moving around. And now we can take that into our swimwear. What more do you think that needs to be done in the fashion industry to really disrupt the status quo and get us truly out of the dark ages and appreciating and celebrating women's bodies?
I think we need more women in executive roles. I really do. I see the struggle with all these fashion houses, right? They're just swapping male CEOs and male designers and spinning their tails. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're getting the same result. And I find that women, we make up a huge portion of the fashion industry on the lower end of the spectrum, the tech designers, product developers, design assistants. But really, I think the industry needs to acknowledge that life continues after you turn 40, and it's often much better.
Right, Donna? Way better.
Yes.
Like women in their 40s now, they're traveling the world, they're forging ahead in their careers, right? They probably are at the best level of their career they'll possibly be at. All these amazing doors are opening to them because if they had kids, they're graduated, they're becoming empty nesters, or they're at least old enough to kind of take care of themselves now. So it's really just a wide open door, and we're ready to grab on and do it, but the industry isn't there for us.
Yes. So we have to step in and just take over and be those loud voices and champion change and celebrate the birthing into something new after those reproductive years are done, and we're finding our new passion, a new expression of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think women in general have to stop settling for ill-fitted clothes. And I know that's easy to say, hard to do, because if that's all that's being offered, you got to put something on. You know what I'm saying? I think keep looking, keep seeking for something better. You know, I'm sure it's out there. We're out here. We just gotta let people know we are.
The moment you put it on, if you feel good, run with it instead of letting that negative self-talk come into your head then and say, oh, I feel good in it, but will it be acceptable? That doesn't matter.
When I started the brand, I had quit my job and decided to work for a boutique in the area just to make some side cash and also learn about the wholesale industry. And just working as a stylist with the women who came into the store, the amount of like negative self-talk that I would hear was just astounding. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't show my arms. I can't show my legs. And I'm just like, why? She's like, "Well, I'm too short to wear prints." No, you're not. No, you
part
can
of
wear
dance rules.
whatever you want. When I was a kid, my favorite game was dress up. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I just want to wear what I want to wear. And I think for so long, we have been programmed that we need to dress in a way that is attractive to men. Every time we put on a piece of clothing, it has to make us look attractive. And that's not necessarily true. If you have a pink clown suit that you want to wear because it brings you joy, you should wear it. Changing our mindset on styling and fashion to, instead of coming from a place of satisfying people around us, really making it more about selfish expression and creativity and what makes us feel happy and whole and complete.
100%.
Yeah.
We only have to serve ourselves.
Yeah.
All the rest, honestly, when you feel good in your body and you are honoring yourself, self-compassion, self-love, that transmutes outward because
Yes.
your beauty becomes the confidence that you exude, whether you're wearing that pink clown suit or not. It's like, damn, she looks good in that ridiculous clown suit because you have so much confidence and energy, and that vibrates. And people want to, are attracted to that frequency, to that vibration.
It's so true. It's so true.
And we just have to keep switching that mindset by disrupting the status quo, disrupting the narrative, and being the change makers that we set out to be. We don't see what we want. We're not getting the results we want to see in the world. Well, then go forth and make it happen ourselves. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, this has been wonderful. I am so excited to share everything about Serotone Swim. Get your voice out there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been great.
Before we end, I've started something new for this season. So we're now well into our 100th plus episode for the Menopause Disruptor. And I liked it.
Congratulations.
Yes, it's exciting. So what I've included for this, now that we've rounded this new corner, is rapid fire questions. And I will have to give all credit to Brene Brown, because when I was listening to a podcast years ago, I know, I talk about a change maker. Wow. She has no idea how much she has. Well, I'm sure she has, but even she suffers imposter syndrome. And but why? We love you for who you are. So we're going to steal that idea from hers and copy paste substantiate, as we used to say in the military. Rapid fire questions. Either one of you can answer. Both of you could take turns, but we're going to just go through this. It's fun. And it also gives us a little bit more insightful knowledge about who you are and your brand and your values. So here we go. This might be more for Donna. One word you associate with menopause.
I think that's the word. It's been a journey for sure. Sorry. That's what I came up with. I feel much better about it now. Freedom.
Yes. Love that. What is your go-to confidence booster?
A really great outfit. Yes.
Yeah, same.
Beach or pool party?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Beach.
I think I might have to say pool party. I love music and I love dancing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so true. Heels or bare feet?
Heels.
Bare feet for me these days. My feet can't do heels anymore. And I'm okay with that.
I'm naturally tall and I love adding heels to my height just because I like being intimidating. I think people treat me differently because I'm tall, and when I'm even taller, it's definitely something.
Beautiful. And I did notice the runway models, some had heels on and some were bare feet. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I think they all had heels.
They all had heels. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But those were just, we didn't pick the heels. We were just like, bring what you have.
Yeah. There's a certain allure to it too. It's like, I never thought heels in a bathing suit, but with your brand, that's totally Functional and acceptable and appropriate. All right. Best career advice you ever received.
Ever received? I had a, if
Trust your gut.
oh,
Mm.
I think mine was never forget to delegate.
Delegate and disappear. That's what we used to also say in the military.
Yeah.
One piece of advice for a woman struggling with her body confidence.
It's mostly in your head.
It's all in your head.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, my advice, it's just people who feel good about themselves do not see your flaws. Right? Like their like happiness and wholeness is reflected in you. And so they don't see what you're looking at. People who are negative, don't feel good about themselves, they will see your flaws.
Yeah.
But that's just more of a reflection on them than you.
That's so true. Absolutely. That's right. And it's normally what we see is being mirrored back to us. If we're
Yeah.
picking it up, it's just because it's being reflected back to us. And I find menopause is a great opportunity to reconcile with all that shit that no longer serves.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Last one. One legacy you hope Serotonin leaves.
Legacy. Oh, that it's okay to be uniquely you. I don't want people to feel like they have to conform to whatever trend is out there. There's always a solution. You can dress however you want to dress wherever you are. Like, and that's enough.
And that is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are a great team. Tell our listeners where they can find you to make an online purchase or at least order in advance for what's coming up in the spring.
Sure. Yes. Our pre-order is up and running now. You can shop online at serotoneswim.com. That's SEROTONE swim. And everything's going to start shipping in March. So super exciting. And you can also follow us on Instagram. It's Serotone_swim.
Wonderful. I will get those links in the episode description below. Sarah, Donna, this has been delightful.
I'm so glad. Yeah, this has been great.
Even though we're in virtual space, I felt like I was just sitting on the couch opposite you and enjoying that beautiful
I
Spanish
know.
Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to
What
tell
an
you,
incredible opportunity that we get to be in two different spaces and share such an amazing.
Yeah.
it really is. Thank you so much for giving us your time, your energy, your expertise. I am so excited to share your story, this journey. It's just been such a delight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that was such a beautiful conversation. My first mother-daughter duet. I am sitting with just how much today's episode speaks to a larger turning point in women's lives and in the fashion industry itself. What Sarah and Donna are showing us is that the landscape of fashion is shifting, whether the industry is ready for it or not. But for too long, clothing, especially swimwear, has been designed around how women should look to others rather than how we want to feel in our own bodies. And that model is outdated. It's being called out, outright disrupted, and beautifully redesigned. And the future of fashion needs a shakeup, one that invites women to dress for their own pleasure, their own comfort, and certainly their own confidence, and not to fit into someone else's gaze. It means moving away from body shame, away from that narrow beauty standards, and toward a celebration of bodies that are diverse, dynamic, aging, and ever-changing. But what I love most about Serotone is that it reminds us that beauty doesn't diminish with menopause. It absolutely evolves. And I've said this several times before, menopause isn't an ending, it's a birth into something bigger, wiser, and bolder. And our clothes should honor that transformation, not fight against it. And then there's this other magic of today's conversation. Sarah didn't just design for her mom. She truly listened to her. She learned from her mom's pain points, her frustrations, and also her wisdom. And Donna, she didn't just inspire a swimsuit. She inspired a change maker. Her lived experience became the catalyst for her daughter to become a true trailblazer in the fashion industry. And that is what real legacy looks like. To every listener, may this episode invite you to rethink how you see your body, how you dress in it, and how you honor your own evolution. Go check out the beautiful collection designed by Sarah on their website at serotoneswim.com. I'm also including in the show description below a link to that Miami Swim Week Runway show where you can see the beautiful ensembles on stage to get a better appreciation of how these designs look in all body shapes. And if you want to shop, pre-order with orders coming out in the month of March, click on shop on their website. And as a special gift for listeners of this podcast episode, Sarah and Serotone Swim are offering customers a 20% discount off their order. Use code Mary when you place your order. Follow Serotone Swim. They're on Instagram at Serotone Swim. Again, all of those links will be in the show notes. If today's insights resonated with you, I'd love for you to be a part of our growing community of menopause disruptors. Hit that subscribe button wherever you're listening right now. And if you know someone who can benefit from these conversations, please share this episode. Sometimes a simple act of sharing can be the first step in someone's healing journey. And hey, if you're ready to take the next step in your menopause journey, I'm here to support you. You can find all my services, including my comprehensive menopause intelligence digital course, one-on-one coaching programs, and workplace education services at mlcoaching.com. It's in the show notes. Want to stay connected and get regular doses of menopause wisdom? Follow me on Instagram at Menopause Disruptor Podcast, where I share tips, insights, and real conversations about navigating this transformative phase of life. Let's continue to disrupt this menopause conversation together. Remember, midlife should be the best life, and it will be. Namaste.